The sun's so bright. Where's that coming from? Oh, right there. Those, do those lower? Oh, nice. Okay, you all in your meditation seat? So, let's see, let's take a moment or so, or 2 or 3 moments to just look at the seat in meditation, taking our seat and bringing, just forwarding our conversation from yesterday of bringing Tadasana and with physical Tadasana forward into everything, yeah? So we all kind of know that we would want to have Tadasana, the alignment of the body present here, yeah, for sitting. So, and then we all have our defaults. And consider how you're, in our body, and how we sit, how we hold the body, and consider that when you sit to meditate or when your students are sitting to meditate, the default that's there in triangle pose or in any pose is also typically right here. So, and again, what were we talking about yesterday is the center of the body? Pelvis, yeah, and the pelvis, and then on the horizontal and the center, and then the spine on the vertical center, yeah. And so let's look at that for a moment. So when the pelvis is forward, rotating forward, what does the spine do? Where does the spine move toward? Yeah, it curves, it bends, it rounds. Yeah, so if I'm in my Tadasana, my pelvis is neutral. It's one way. And then if my pelvis is doing, how do I round my spine? How would I round my spine intentionally right now? Yeah, I'd want to rotate my pelvis, right? Yeah. Back, right? Is that it? Do you see? And then the other default, so that's from the pelvis, then that impacts the lower spine and of course the whole spine, but then with the shoulders moving forward, what does that tend to do? It rounds the upper back. Yeah, the upper back domes out. So and then what's the other default? The opposing default for the pelvis would be from overarching. So a forward rotation of the pelvis creates that over curving then, yeah? You guys tracking? So you and then the blowing out of the chest, can go that way anyway, yeah? So you want to find neutral. Where's neutral pelvis for you? Here, so that you have the natural curves of the lumbar. You're integrating from the pelvis, remember, down through the legs into the ground, and then the spine up, straightening the spine and the shoulders, the upper arm bones to the back. So do that right now. Try that on right now. Pelvis neutral. So you're going to have to play with your pelvis. So here, some of you are moving your upper body, like around the shoulders like that, but where is your lower body? Pelvis, natural curve of the low spine. Good, now do the forward tilt of the pelvis. Go ahead, do that, default. So you'll bring the, you know what I'm saying? The forward tilt, do that. Everyone do that right now. And then do the opposite of that. So you have to lift your butt off of whatever you're sitting to actually do it. That's kind of, I think, what I'm saying. You've got to lift your butt off the floor block. To shift your pelvis, you've got to do that. Get what I'm saying? You can't really, if you're sitting on, weighted, you can't really shift the pelvis. So right now, lift your butt up off whatever you're sitting, and let's bring your pelvis forward. So the front edge of your pelvis forward. So you have your pelvic bowl, yeah? And then bring the pelvic bowl to spill the water. If your pelvic bowl is holding water or soup, spill it forward. So tailbone back. Let's try that, yeah? And then sit down, keeping that. And just notice what's there. Now bring your butt up off the block, and then do the opposing action. Now do a backward tilt, so your front edge pelvis lifts up toward the chest, so the water now spills over the back. Then keep that and sit down. And you see, yeah, it doesn't feel good, does it? This is kind of how the default is, though. A lot of you were leaning, maybe it's exaggerated now, but this is your leaning, and then inherently the shoulders want to dump, don't they? Just to release the pressure. So what you want to know is people are sitting in meditation, if their pelvis is not neutral, and they tend to be like this, and they have their shoulders back to start, and they're got good meditation posture, but inherently the body's got to release the pressure that's being created in the hips and the lack of flow, the contraction, right? So they start, you'll see the students after a few minutes are doing this, right? And then the opposite is, like too much of this blowing out. And that's not comfortable. So you want to create from the pelvis, the spine straight and the pelvis neutral. Go ahead, lift your butt up and just look for that for a moment. And find your neutral, the pelvic bowl. You're holding the water, the pelvic bowl, and then take your seat, and then lift your chest, the back, the sides of the body, and integrate your arm bones, shoulders to your back to create a natural inward movement of the thoracic spine between the shoulder blades. Like that. Good. Wow, that's a whole new meditation asana in the room here. Just collectively, very different. Good. Okay. And then a yoga mudra with your hands. You could bring your fingertips touching, thumb tips touching. I like this, or palms facing up. You could take yoga mudra, thumb to first finger, palms facing up. You choose a mudra, but be intentional in that way. And then close your eyes, please, and take several just full body breaths. And allow yourself to be a space. Allow for the space of your body to be a space where life's happening moment to moment, and you're awakening your witness, your inner witness, your third eye, your observer self, and from this higher observation, be present to your body from the skin in as a space. A space where sensations, body sensations, feelings, emotions, thoughts, images are rising up and moving through the space. Can you unidentify, can you defy that drift of being in your thoughts, feelings, emotions, body sensations? Can you separate out and observe from that higher self, that higher looking, that higher drishti? You can. The outer stimulus in the space, in the environment out here, the sounds, including the sound of my voice, rising up and falling away as its own world, the world out here and the inner world, the space in your body, in your brain. And can you begin to awaken beyond just your inner world? Be present to the inner world and also the world, the bigger world happenings out here. Whatever thoughts, stories, narratives grabbing you, disengage and watch. Let things flow. Let them rise up and let them go. In the space of your body from the skin in. Let thoughts, feelings, emotions, body sensations do their thing. And disengage and watch. Be the observer. Put your attention on your feet, into your shins, knees, thighs, into your pelvis. Be present from the pelvis down to your feet, from the skin and your contact to the surface beneath you and around you, and from the inside out, from the pelvis down, and from the outside in, notice. And now from your pelvis up through the low spine, mid-spine, up to the top of the spine between your ears. Notice the spine line, and from the skin into the spine, and from the spine line out through the skin. Just notice what is so. Are there feelings? Are there energetic holdings? Is there stuck energy? Is there emotion? Is there a core emotion? Sadness? Peace? Hurt? Fear? Love? Joy? Pain? Whatever is so, acknowledge. Not dwelling, just acknowledge. Any emotion, if you're locked in thoughts in your head, acknowledge that. Nothing to do other than acknowledge. By acknowledging, you're completing rather than drifting off. And now funnel your awareness from the tops of your shoulders down through your arms into your hands. Put your attention on your thumbs, your first fingers, second fingers, third fingers, little fingers. Be aware of your fingers, your hands, and your palms, the front and back. Whenever we put our attention on any point of the body, on the anatomy, we bring energy and connection. Notice the connection of your attention on your hands brings forth flow. Be aware of your hands. Keep your attention on your hands. And also be aware of your head. From the back of your head, look through the middle of your forehead. And keep your attention on your hands as you look through the middle of your forehead. As you observe and look through the middle of your forehead and be aware of your hands, you're now connected to your body and the space of your body, and get present to whatever you're holding in your body or whatever's moving in your body in thoughts, feelings, emotions, body sensations. As you look through the middle of your forehead from the back of your head, be aware of your hands as a connection of physical presencing, and get present to what's actually happening. And watch. And experience. Allow yourself to experience whatever you're actually experiencing, or what's actually in your experience here. Get present. As you look through the middle of your forehead and you're aware of your hands, get present to the whole of your experience. And experience. Allow yourself to experience what you are experiencing. Hurt, fear, contentment, satisfaction, peace, pain, agony, anger, whatever's so in your experience, watch. And feel what you feel with the intention of letting it go, letting it move. As you look through the middle of your forehead and you're aware of your hands, notice, are there any holding patterns, like stuck energy, stuck fear, stuck emotion, anger, fear, hurt, pain, tension, any kind of suppressed energy, pressure, energetic, pressure, holding. Notice, scan your body. As you look through the middle of your forehead and you're aware of your hands, just scan from the top of your body, from the top of your head, down through your throat, through your chest, and area of your upper body, trunk, and solar plexus into your abdomen. Just scan with your awareness, allowing any holding to be experienced and allowing it to melt like an ice cube in hot water in the light and heat of your awareness. And let that energy go. Let it come up and let it go. The default of the mind is to not experience, not feel what we're feeling. And meditation is in opposition to distraction. It's bringing the attention into what's actually right here. So it's an opportunity to notice what you're operating on top of, living on top of. And it comes through not doing. Being, feeling, experiencing is the entryway to transforming something in ourselves. Feel what you feel, let it come up, let it go. The thoughts about it all, or the originating thoughts of it, let them come up, let them go. Detach and experience. Whatever you're experiencing, it doesn't mean anything. It's just experience. Experience what you experience without adding meaning. It doesn't mean anything. Simply acknowledge what's so and let go. As you look through the middle of your forehead, be aware of your hands. Put your attention on your fingertips and your palms. Stay connected in to your body here through keeping your attention on your hands and into the experience in your body. Yeah, what's it really like here in your body? Look around, listen with the inner eye and the inner ear, inner sight, inner listening and get present to what's right here in your experience. Really, perhaps what you've been hiding from yourself and others. Just get present as you look through the middle of your forehead and aware of your hands. Where's the energy in your body? What's the quality of it, the color of it, the texture of it, the size of it? Where is it? Locate it with your inner eye and inner ear and get present to the experience of it. And let it come up and let it go. Let it move. Hold nothing back. You're suppressing or you're experiencing and letting energy come up and move. Now, as you look through the middle of your forehead with your higher observation, your higher witness, and be aware of your hands, get present to the experience of possibility in your body. So put your attention on your hands and get present to the experience of possibility. Yeah, right here in your body, the energy of possibility, the experience, the creative space and energy, without putting a goal to it or a outcome to it or a vision to it. Can you simply get present to the experience of possibility? New possibility, new energy creations. The energy, the experience of anything's possible. The energy of yes. Let that energy come up, let it flow, let it move. The energy that brought you here this day, this week. The energy that really drives what you're up to ultimately and what you're committed to in your life and your teaching and your practice. Get present to that driving force for the higher good. The higher good in yourself, the higher good in others, the higher good in the world. Get present to the experience of possibility. The light that comes from that energy of yes, the brightness of yes, the oxygen, the breath of life that comes from, source from this energy, this experience of yes and possibility. Can you get present to the breath of it, the brightness of it, the life force and prana existing in it, and it's moving through you. Let it move, let it rise up, let it go. The moment we suppress it or put some goal to it, it begins to stop. Consider just experiencing that something's possible is its whole own kind of possibility. The possibility of possibility. Experience it in your body, from your crown down to your whole body, from the pelvis down into the ground, and the supportive, rebounding force of the earth, the pranic force from the earth, uplifting you, pulling you up, holding you up. And then gently bring your hands to your heart center. We'll take one Om, take a deep breath in. Touch your forehead with your thumb tips. In the space that you are here, in the space of higher possibility, allow a word, a being to find you, the word that wants you, that's calling for the highest you, and call that word out loud. Love. Again, love. Namaste.